everyone. Welcome to Opinion TV with G. Welcome to our podcast and our show where we talk about what's going on in Israel and Palestine. Welcome, Mr. Opinion. Thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to
Thank
be
you.
talking about the ruling of the ICJ on the South African case against the state of Israel committing genocide in Gaza. Um, okay, I think let's begin. What do you have to say about the provisions and the ruling of the case?
First of all, people are mistaking the case for being a case to be ruled against genocide. No,
Mm,
the case was about it was actually about ruling whether it is likely, whether there's suspicion, it is like ruling whether it's likely for Israel to be committing genocide. They are not
mm,
judging that it's not it's not a case where they are
mm,
judging that Israel committing genocide. No, the case is Israel likely to be committing genocide. That's what they are actually ruling about in a layman's language. That's how Mike can put
mm,
it. Is likely to
mm,
be committing genocide, and if
mm.
so, what should be done? Those are the provisional measures that we are given. Now, let's look at what happens first. Let's look at if Israel is committing genocide
Mm,
or if it is likely to be committing genocide. So
mm.
the court ruled, you saw the provisions they gave, which meant that
Happening. Yeah, I don't know what has happened to the network. I think Mr. Opinion has got an issue with the network. Mm,
you saw
What are
you
sorry.
saw Netanyahu coming out and saying that it is absurd. He made a statement in English actually after. He's clever. Whenever he wants to talk to the international world, the international community, he doesn't speak Hebrew. He doesn't speak, he speaks what? He speaks English. So he came out and said it's absurd for
Mm,
people who had experienced a Holocaust. There is that Holocaust thing, that Holocaust incident so much everywhere. They just
mm.
throw it around these days. It is almost
Just try
losing.
what they are doing. Mm,
Yeah, it is losing meaning. They are actually disgracing the people who actually suffered the Holocaust. Now, he came out and made all those weird statements of his, but
mm,
the fact is, the court ruled, and what it ruled was that Israel is most likely to be committing a genocide. And then they gave provisional measures, what
mm.
Israel should do to prevent committing a genocide, to prevent loss of lives, provisional measures.
Okay. So I think most of the people were thinking that it's like saying Israel is committing genocide, so they're going to be convicted. All the judgments going
To,
to be Israel is
uh,
committing genocide, which is not true about the
to,
ruling.
confirm, to confirm that Israel is committing a genocide, it would require a lot of investigations that would take months, years, a lot of time. They cannot just
Okay.
look at the evidence that South Africa presents to the court and immediately think and
Mm,
immediately conclude that Israel is committing genocide. No, these people were judging suspicions of Israel committing a genocide, of which the Israel side wanted this case even thrown out. It did not want the International Criminal Court of Justice to even consider this, the claims of South Africa presenting this case saying that Israel might be committing a genocide. They were calling for the case to be thrown out, which the court did not do, hence the provisional measures.
Okay. And also now this brings us to a story whereby we have our judge from Uganda, Julius Sebutinde, who voted against all the provisions, even when they say Israel should prevent killing civilians to commit these acts of genocide. For us, she still voted against all these provisions. Really?
Now,
This is so disappointed as a Ugandan. I really feel disappointed, really. And we are not in
now,
support of. Speaking for myself, really, that is really, really disappointing and actually disgusting.
now, for Ugandans who are out
Mm,
there, I now you can feel what the
mm,
American people are feeling when they tell their country or their government to stop
mm,
providing aid or weapons to commit a genocide against the people
mm,
of Palestinians, but they still do it. They even bypass Congress because they don't want to be asked any questions. So they find those hidden laws in their constitution to bypass Congress because
mm,
they have some laws that say if it's an emergency, the president is allowed to act on his own. So they use those laws that even do
mm,
not apply to the situation because it's not an emergency. No one in Israel is dying that they should give them aid. So they use those laws against the people and bypass their Congress and give more aid and weapons to the people of Israel to commit the genocide. Now, that is the pain the British people have. That is the pain the American people have. That is the pain. That pain you feel, that shame you feel today
mm,
because of Julia Seutinde, what she did as a Ugandan. It is the pain all these people you see around
mm,
the world who are demonstrating, and you see like Netherlands people are demonstrating. Now, I'll give you an example. Bahrain. Bahrain is one of the countries that joined with the US and the UK to go and bomb Yemen. But when they did it, the next day the Yemen people were on the streets demonstrating, saying, this government does not speak for us. It is acting on its own. From Bahrain to Yemen, this land is one.
mm.
To understand, from Bahrain to Yemen, this land is one. From Bahrain to Jordan to what? This land is one. We are all one people. These people, whatever they are doing with the US and the UK, that one is not part of us. Same applies to the now. That is what the pain the Ugandans are feeling today, right now. But
Mm.
this lady is very, very. I can say she's shameless because she refused humanitarian aid. Humanitarian aid. She refused. They were not saying that she should cease fire. She, she,
Mm.
she, she refused humanitarian aid. She refused. She refused everything. She refused humanitarian aid. She refused for people for the Israeli because there's a provision of where um, all these Israeli officials, so Israelis committing genocide, acts of genocide, should be punished, or giving this genocide speech should be punished. She refused all of that. She refused everything, even where you know.
Actually, look, let me tell you, it is
Pano,
really like interesting. Even whereby the Israel themselves were supporting the provisions, for her she voted against the provision. That's really
that,
absurd.
that's
Who
what
does
I'm
that?
coming to. On this
Mm,
judge panel, there is an
mm,
Israeli judge.
mm.
Where she voted for, this lady voted against.
Exactly.
Ugandan lady voted. where even
What kind of madness is that?
people of Israel also see that this should happen, or she says
Hmm.
no. But how do you deny people in war humanitarian aid?
Really? That's
Humanitarian
so
aid,
inhuman. She's not human, maybe. You
I
can't do
don't
that.
know, but
Hmm.
personally,
Hmm.
okay, personally, I'm hurt, but I don't. I never. We wouldn't expect much from her because of the regime that bashed her. You
Hmm.
know, the regime that gave birth. We have to know that the dictatorial regime in Uganda today is the one that bashed the judge Julia Seutinde sitting there today. And this regime, this dictatorial regime in Uganda today, is the very regime that is being kept in power by the US and the British government, of which governments are the ones facilitating the genocide and claiming like, claiming like nothing is happening. People
Hmm.
are dying. No, every time they just keep saying, no, we are talking to the Israeli government and letting them know that people must get humanitarian aid and they should minimize, eh? They should minimize. You get that kind of talking. They should
Hmm.
minimize on killing innocent civilians, on bombing innocent civilians. The next day, the Israelis go and bomb another hospital, killing again hundreds of
Hmm.
civilians. So when you talk to these people, there's a journalist who asked them recently.
Hmm.
There was a man who was waving a white flag. He was with other people. I think you saw that video on ITV, where he was waving a white flag. Immediately finished having an interview with the ITV people. They were trying to go and get out their people that had remained there so that they could cross. So they thought by waving a white flag, these people would see them and allow them safe passage. Then the Israeli soldier just shot the guy, point blank. Just the sniper just shot the guy dead. Now, when he shot this guy dead,
Hmm.
when he shot this guy dead, when they asked these guys, the speed masters in the White House, you know what they said? What these people, they were like, we are talking to the Israeli government to minimize civilian casualties. We are not on the ground. We are not. We cannot give you specific details of what happened because we are not on the ground. Now, let's not forget that during the time when they were collecting money to give to Ukraine to go
Hmm.
and fight Russia, they were not on the ground to identify whether, to conclude whether Russia is committing war crimes, to identify whether Russia is harming any civilians. They do not have a single video or any evidence against Russia. But they even cried. John Cobb, John Cobb even cried. They came
Hmm.
and made all these absurd statements. But when it comes to Israel, we are talking to them to minimize civilian casualties. So what's going on? The level of double standard. Now, going back to Julia Sautinde, fellow Ugandans, I don't know about you, but as for me, this woman has nothing to do with me. She does not represent the people, she's representing herself. I already made a video and told you guys that in Uganda we have a saying.
Hmm.
Actually, it is derived from our motto. Our motto in Uganda is for God and my country. But we have a saying that is directed to our corrupt leaders that we say they work for God and my stomach. And I told you that for even this motto does not apply to her because For her, you cannot say for she's working for God. No, she's working
mm,
either for the devil and her stomach or for her and her stomach. Because you cannot deny people who are suffering of famine, people
mm,
who are in any other way, the provision of any other way preventing these people from ethnically being cleansed or killed slowly, and you refuse them. You refuse all of that.
mm.
And
So
how do you
actually,
decide
to me, it was
any
even
process of
there's something interesting there. Even where the US, the judge from the US, she's supporting all the provisions. you know, like this is
judges
something.
from telling you she was the only one that was against why she was against everything.
Mm,
Everything. I don't know, they blackmailed her, they paid her,
mm.
I don't know. But you cannot
She's
tell me
either
that they
paid or she was blackmailed. One of
you
the two.
cannot tell me that they blackmailed her more than the Israeli judge. You
Mm,
cannot tell me that they pressurized her more than the
mm.
US judge, the UK judge,
Exactly. Because we would
the
expect at least the
that
US, when they if they refused some of the provisions, which would be understandable because we know that US stands with Israel. It is one on one. But also, you see, even the judge from Israel, she supports some of the provisions and the ruling. Right. So for her to just say vote against all of them, there's something really interesting there. We like something has
for
to
me,
be behind her. Either she
even
is
I'm
paid to
thinking,
do that. Mm,
given the fact that these things are also happening in Uganda, where they are kidnapping
mm,
people in Uganda, the same way they are kidnapping opposition people, the opposition of the government, kidnapping them, analyzing them. They are the same thing that is happening in the West Bank.
mm.
So I think she's now immune to all of this. You know, she ruled against. You know that she ruled against the genocide in Congo.
Yeah,
This
yeah. Also,
the,
I've read about that.
she, what's going on with this lady? She ruled against the genocide in Congo, very well knowing that that genocide is partly facilitated by Ugandan forces. She said no, why she does not see any genocide there.
Mm,
What she's, I think maybe that's the only word she knows. Someone commented in my comments and said
mm.
that English was too much. Now, was
Really?
the English too much today or the other time? Then there was another person who commented and said that made a funny comment like, for us, I think we are proud of her.
Mm,
Oh, the English the person wrote was wrong. I don't
mm,
remember the exact comment, but it was like we are proud of her something, but the English
mm,
was wrong. But that's what the person was trying to mean.
mm,
So, given the fact that that person could not even put that sentence in proper English, it gives you that even he does not know what he's talking about. That's one. He did not
mm,
understand what it was even about.
mm.
That's and also you're with her on which part? Which one? The one where she wants these people to keep on being murdered, or the one where they deny them humanitarian aid so that they die slowly, or the one where they deny them medical aid? Which part are you saying? The one where they destroy all their homes? Which one? You're with her on which part? Because first she wants what Israel is doing right
Mm.
now to
To
keep going on,
continue.
to
Mm,
continue. So which part are you with her on? On everything. Because right now she's a criminal herself. Because she's saying it's okay. So that criminal mind, I don't know even
it's
who
either
put her
side.
there. Because her mind is criminal.
Mm,
You cannot tell me that she sees nothing where the Israeli judges see something has to be done. Something is wrong where she sees nothing. She's either blind, dumb, and deaf. She doesn't see anything. She doesn't hear anything. She doesn't talk to anybody. Those are I don't have any kind words for her.
Mm. But
Either she's also
as Ugandans, we know, like, we feel this, like, we know these things
man.
happen. They happen in our courts here in Uganda, like, so we are
It,
not even, actually, we are not, I don't feel like I'm surprised. It's not
we are
surprising.
not surprised, but there is
As
that
Ugandans, we
saying.
are not surprised. We know these things
You know,
happen. It's
you
really,
know,
really sad for someone
you
representing a
know,
country like Uganda to support such a thing. Really, really sad for us. It is
you
tarnishing our
know.
names as Ugandans. Like, whenever
The
you go as a Uganda, they see you as people who are senseless, people who are inhumane, like you don't have this feeling of saying at least people need humanitarian aid. Just a simple thing, humanitarian aid, to keep their lives going.
she
However
said
much you're
no.
bombing them, you're killing them, but give them this aid, humanitarian aid. Let them at least have somewhere to sleep, have some access to medicine. You know.
She doesn't want even them to start anywhere. She can say, okay, let us start with humanitarian aid. She will vote for humanitarian aid. But she doesn't want to start anywhere. She doesn't, like, she was saying that whatever these people, these provisions are all bogus.
Mm,
Whatever South Africa is saying is all wrong.
mm.
There's nothing wrong with what Israel is doing. In fact, she had to be, and she's the one they should make an Israeli judge. She could have worked better on their side. But
Exactly. Mm.
for even, I like, do you know, being represented like this on the world stage because everybody was watching, like the whole world. This was
Mm.
our time to shine, man. For
No, she
me,
actually she made like Uganda popular yesterday. Like everyone who didn't know about Uganda actually, like they know about Uganda now. Like they know these are the people who really
do
like
you know what is on social media?
it's too much.
Exactly. People on social media are
Mm.
here and they're like, oh man, I found out the judge is from Uganda. I found out this judge is from Uganda. Go and check what's happening on social media.
Mm.
People,
Yeah, everywhere, TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram, like everywhere, all the social media actually
go
it is
to
all about
them
it's about that
and took
Uganda.
their time to find out which judge is this that was against everything. How can you be against everything?
Mm.
Against everything. You don't have
Everything. Mm.
self-respect or self-respect or anything. You don't have a heart. You're not, man.
She's
Uganda got
selfless, like
that
she
got them.
doesn't feel anything for human. Mm. But me as a Ugandan, I really, really feel misrepresented. I feel disgusted, and I feel like she doesn't belong to. Actually, we would even disown her. Like totally. Like she should be somewhere in Israel. Maybe she stays there. She doesn't come back. If it were for us as Ugandans, like for me, that's what I feel. Because such a person who has a doctorate in human rights to stand and say she votes against any kind of provision provided in that ruling. It's really absurd.
I don't have any more words because now I realize the way the American citizens feel when their
Mm,
government keeps giving these people weapons to kill these people, and
mm. And
everybody knows that
what
these
is
are
sad,
American bombs.
mm, what is very sad is like people from other countries, when they hear that this person is from Uganda, they feel as if every Ugandan is behind her. Like the whole of Uganda supports that. They feel that. Because I've seen
Actually,
some videos
today I
whereby
don't.
like some girls who are working as maids in those countries, especially in the Arabian countries, like in Saudi Arabia, even like UAE, Jordan, their bosses are really like amazed, like how the like do you support which side do you support? Do you support Israel or do you support Gaza? Because of that kind of tension, like they are
Exactly.
feeling
Those
if
are
that
those
yeah,
are
if a
actions.
judge is supporting Israel, which means even you people behind or from that country, it's like you support that Israel. What is Israel is doing?
I'm, I'm telling you that you can no longer now walk and freely say that I'm a Ugandan. When you say you're a Ugandan, the next question they ask you is Israel or Palestine.
By the time.
Because they don't trust you anymore. They don't trust
Exactly.
if you don't
They
get humanitarian
They can't
aid.
trust you. It's like you say, if your government comes out and say, for us, we are supporting what Israel is doing, they should continue committing, if it is genocide or whatever they are doing, it is okay. They don't even have to provide humanitarian to these people. And it's your government saying that. They'll feel like it's a whole country supporting that. And you can't say these people are wrong.
Poorly represented on a world stage. That's what I can say. By a woman who's so evil and selfish.
Really
That's all
sad.
I'm saying about this lady. Because I don't know what she was thinking.
Either she didn't read anything, she just came and to just say, me, I'm against everything. So, like, I can't comprehend it as a person.
You can't be, even there is where you had to vote anonymously without anybody knowing. The woman still voted against. Dang.
But anyway, it's possible. We always say that in Uganda everything is possible. So we are not really like surprised by any of that. It's possible.
I'm telling you now, you have to go there. The questions that they were not asking us, do you support Israel or Palestine? Now you have to explain yourself. Do you support Israel or Palestine?
It's really sad for people around the globe, like everywhere they are seen as people who are hypocrites. They're seen as people who, like, inhumane, people who don't understand, people who are like crazy.
But let them also test what we are living with, because now they are their countries. Because I do not want to see an American complaining or a British complaining or what, because it is their countries that are supporting the regime that is in power in Uganda. They're the ones keeping this dictator in power. So let them also, now they have got the test of the medicine we are also facing. Yeah, let
And
them
also to
also.
their state, also which are providing like these
I'm not saying
weapons to
what
Israel to go and fight. So
so
it's not
I'm
right,
also
but
telling
we
them
have
that
nothing to do.
I'm telling them that their governments are keeping a dictator in Uganda. They are keeping him in power because of their interests, as they say. So now they got a taste of what we are getting. Now that was only one time when they have gotten the taste of what for us we deal with every day because of their governments supporting this crap.
It's kind of like to see it in a way that if there's an injustice somewhere, it can affect even any other part of the world. Like, okay, because if we see this, it happens in Ugandan courts. Okay, so now we've taken this kind of scenario to an international court. You understand? So that's why we should fight injustice anywhere. That's why we should all support the people of Gaza and Palestine, such that they get out of this kind of occupation. They get their independence, they have their own state, they rule over themselves and have self-determination. Okay? So when we keep quiet, we don't stand by and watch, they are going to suffer. The same thing when it comes to another country, they're also going to suffer. And it's going to spread. It becomes like a plague, like a disease. Okay?
The International Criminal Court of Justice did not call for a ceasefire. But just like the South African minister said, when you read the provisions made, there is no way of making those provisions possible without a ceasefire. You understand? Israel does not have a military force that they can put boots on the ground and they go maybe house by house or place by place, clearing that we have cleared this area like this. Now let's move to another area. They do not have people who can do that. You understand? So they have, even I think on that very day of the court ruling, Israel still dropped bombs in Gaza. So for them,
Okay, I was
it's not
seeing
like
there's a
we are
report on Al
expecting them
Jazeera
to
whereby
talk.
they've reported over 137 people who died, actually, I think, last night, even after the
You
ruling.
get
So
you
they are
get
not
what I'm
listening.
not like. It's not like we are expecting them to follow the law or something, but at least we are holding them accountable of the crimes they are committing so that they know, they put it in their mind. But the fact is that they do not have a military or a force that they can put boots on the ground and say, let's clear this area, then we move on to the next area. We clear it, then we move on to the next area. No. The only thing Israel knows is to drop bombs, collective punishment. Eh? I hear it over the Dahia, over the Dahia, what? That collective punishment of killing all these people. So that, I hear they do this, they did it, I think, I hear they did it even in Lebanon. That they did it so that next time Hamas tries to again to attack Israel, the people should tell it no, like as if they first go and take a vote that we are going to attack Israel, vote yes or no. But they did it in Lebanon to stop Hezbollah. Hezbollah just grew stronger. Today, I want to clarify that today, if Hamas was to take a vote in Israel, it would get more votes than even the what they are calling the legitimate government of Palestine. They would take more votes. That is what happened. These people saying that Hamas are terrorists. Hamas was a legitimately elected government from Palestine, only that they took this part of Gaza. For them, they decided they chose to stay in Gaza. They won seats in the of the overwhelmingly won the seats in the parliamentary government, in the actual government of Palestine. You understand? How did how do you think Hamas managed to get all that funding? Hamas managed to build hospitals in Gaza, schools in Gaza, roads in Gaza. You saw how Gaza looks like. It's better than Kampala. It was
Far
better
better.
than Kampala. Yeah, but it managed. Over 2 million people are living in this place, and it managed for them to live happily. There was something someone said that these Israelis only understood only that part of the Bible which tells them that this part is your land, but they forgot the part where it says that as long as no one was hungry. You understand that they forgot that part, and that is the part the person said that is the part actually Hamas picked. For them, that is the part they picked. That as long as no one goes hungry, for them, the other people took the only part because this is like a covenant. It's like a treaty. The land is yours if nobody goes hungry. Nobody, not if Jews don't go hungry, not if Muslims don't go, if nobody, either Palestinians or what, if no one goes hungry. So these people took only the part where it says that this is a land to the Jews, and they forgot the part where it says if nobody goes hungry. Oh, Hamas took the part of where nobody goes hungry. They built schools, they built homes, they built hospitals, they built everything to help these people in Gaza to survive, to live a life today, to not need. They helped them home by home. You understand? That is why, like, for them, they do not view these people as the enemies these people view them to be. You know, there is this picture these people paint. I was telling someone that when these Americans and their allies, when they want to kill you in a smart, clean way, they will say you are a terrorist. When they declare that you are a terrorist, like the Houthi, today the Houthi were declared terrorists and Hamas. Why? Because they want the genocide on the Gazan people to stop. They want humanitarian aid to flow into Gaza. And America declared them terrorists. Now, to declare them terrorists means anybody can target them. You understand? You can wake up from your morning and you just shoot the missile, and nobody is going to ask you because you are shooting terrorists. You're targeting terrorists. You become a target for anybody because you're a terrorist. So when they bomb you, when they do anything to you, when they shoot you, when they kill you, when they do anything, nobody will ask. You're not the person killing you, shooting you, bombing you is not answerable to anybody because you are a terrorist.
Terror.
That is why they first declared you a terrorist. That is why they first declared Hamas as terrorists. Hamas killed innocent people in the kibbutz and whatever, which wasn't a good thing. But this was a tactical operation. It was tactical. Innocent people died, too bad. Okay? But they came to take hostages because they wanted, their intention was not to take hostages, their intention was their intention was not to kill people, it was to take hostages so that they could exchange the hostages. Surprisingly, when the Israeli military arrived, they got an order invoking the Hannibal Directive. The Hannibal Directive, which allows them to kill the hostage and the hostage taker, to use any kind of necessary force to make sure that none of their people is taken as a hostage. You understand? Which allows you to use any necessary force. That's why you see that in the kibbutz, in the homes of those people, there were tank shellings. Tanks blew up the houses. Everybody, we were all asking ourselves, how did this happen? How did these people, did Hamas come with tanks? Everybody was asking themselves, where did these tank marks, tires, chains come from? Before Israel had clarified that, you see, it was too bad, so we had, there was nothing to do. We decided to shoot what? The way they justified it, they decided to shoot. They killed their own people there so that they should not be taken as hostages, even the Israelis themselves there. Same at the party. When the helicopter arrived, also it received the same Hannibal Directive to use any force necessary, which includes killing their own, to make sure nobody is taken as a hostage so that they would not be used as leverage. That is why you have been asking yourself, why are these people bombing Gaza non-stop? Yet they know that their hostages are there. They don't give a shit about the hostages, because them caring about the hostages is a weakness. That means they would have to make calculative moves, of which they don't want to make any calculative move. They just want to kill everything. So today in Tel Aviv, yesterday, today, people now have turned around. Now they no longer want the war. People, if you asked me, when we were talking to Israelis, they would say Hamas started the war. But according to me, Hamas did not start a war. Hamas carried out a tactical operation, which Israel had to also carry out in return to go and get their people if they didn't want to make any kind of trade. But today, the people in Israel, in Tel Aviv, are demonstrating, saying, stop war, bring back our people, stop the war. So now they don't want the war. Now they no longer want the war because they say this war is not going anywhere. It is making them look bad worldwide. It is exposing their allies. It has made them the bad everywhere on every social media platform. Innocent people are dying and they are not achieving anything. They are not getting hostages back. They are not killing Hamas. So that is where things are right now. They don't want the war anymore. They want the war to stop. Now they are demonstrating in Tel Aviv. The Israelis wanted the war to kill those people, finish them. Now they are saying, we don't want the war, stop the war. We don't want the war, stop the war, bring back our men. Because they are losing men. Let me tell you, in a war, when they report that 100 men have died, just know that there are 200 more who are injured. And when 200 more are likely to be injured, that means the number of deaths are likely to increase, because there are some who have been amputated, whose legs have been blown off and they have lost a lot of blood, and the doctor, there's nothing they can do. But on bringing in this person, they counted that person as an injured person. So that is what is happening there.
That's interesting, because now at least that could also bring us to closer to maybe ending this war in Gaza. Okay, because the people are pressuring the government of Netanyahu. Somehow he has to retrain somehow, and let's see how it goes. But maybe we can see having Hamas and Israel agree to this deal of exchanging the hostages, and maybe getting closer to the end of the war, if that really happens. But though we know that Netanyahu is trying to protect himself, so he's trying to prolong the war also, because it is granting him some kind of shield, whereby people have also been protesting against him.
America has to put on their big boy pants and end the war. Netanyahu is not going to end the war. Netanyahu is waiting to get a deal, because if he loses his prime minister immunity, he's most likely to go to jail for war crimes and corruption charges that he already had. Now, the only thing protecting him is that because he's still a prime minister of Israel, and people do not want him, and the Israelis do not want him anymore. And the actual Jews in religion, if you're watching or if you're listening to them, they tell you that for them, they do not want even the state of Israel. They don't want it, because they say that once the government was created, that means their Messiah will not come back. So the true Jewish believers, remember, Judaism is not an ethnicity, it's a religion. But these people, these Zionists, spin it around and say, you are Jewish, so they make it as if it's an ethnicity. It's not an ethnicity, it's a religion. You can be a Jew when you're Ugandan, you can be a Jew when you're an American, you can be a Jew. That's why when you ask all of them, you are Jew, where are you from? Israel. Where are you actually from? Russia. Where are you actually from? Ukraine. You get what I'm talking about? It's not an ethnicity, it's religion. So
that's how interesting it is, because for them they're just trying to make it an ethnicity such that they say these people deserve a state where they belong, and that's why they created the Israeli state. Okay,
do you know
but that's
that these people were supposed to be brought to Uganda? Uganda was one of the countries that was proposed. But does Judge Julius Seutinde know that these people were, do you know that they would have already killed all of us? Because Israel is not rich in minerals like the way Uganda is. Uganda has minerals. It has trillions of dollars in gold. You have oil, you have copper, you have cobalt, you have a lot of minerals, fresh water. These people would have already finished all of us. Because they are fighting for a desert where there is nothing. They are fighting for the desert. They want the whole desert. What about a country like ours, a relief rain country like ours, where you just throw anything and comes back? There would be we would be servants. We would now be the ones suffering.
totally the whole of the region. Yeah, it is.
Now they would be, they would
When you
have
hear that
taken
story, by the way,
under Kenya,
mm,
under, now they would be fighting with, I think, Kenyans or Sudanese up there.
because they would want to extend up to get access to the ocean. So I'm thinking Tanzania and
Or they
Kenya
would
would
be
also
fighting
take.
now with the Egyptians. They would have really taken up the whole of that place. Now they would be fighting with the Egyptians. Actually, they're also stupid. They should have gone to Uganda, because now they would,
They had a great advantage whereby people thinking like 17 and so
yeah,
they would be
exactly.
easy to clean. So
Yeah, they would meet there very many 17 days there.
mm, we would support whatever they are saying, and they would do as they please. They would take all the land as they please, and eventually they would have achieved all their goals instead of being in a desert fighting for nothing almost. Mm. But also that's how we survived. Eventually they said they could not survive because of the climate and the weather, I think. So they chose to go
And
to where
they,
they had originally belonged.
they have
Mm.
this justification. I'm not saying it is wrong. They say, when we are all around the world, when we were in Europe, they killed us. When we went to Latin America, Spain, they killed us. Everywhere they went, the Jews got killed.
Mm.
And who were killing them? Not Arabs. I want us, I want actually to make this point clear. The people, Arabs, have never killed the Jews at any in their history. There's nowhere where Arabs killed Jews. It was always the whites, the Nazis, the Spanish, the French, the America. Those are the people who were, nobody wanted them, because they would have said go to Britain. Great Britain had a lot of land there. It had these other countries that it adopted there. It would, why didn't they take them to America? They did want them, so they decided to send them to the desert,
Mm.
because nobody wanted them. So now they say that everywhere we went, they killed us. When they went to Palestine, these people welcomed them. Do you know that the Ottomans sent ships to Europe to go and get the Jews, to go and bring Jews, when they heard that they were killing them? When they brought them and reached here, now they turned against these people and said, these people, the Arabs want to kill us. They want to kill all of us. Why? Because of their double-crossing tactics.
Mm.
We have brought you in, now you are chasing us from our land. What are you talking about? You're telling us
Mm.
you govern this place. How comes you govern this place where the ones who brought you in? Just today were your landlords. Now you are saying today you are our landlords. It
Mm.
doesn't make sense.
Uh,
It doesn't make sense.
Now they are the occupiers, they own the land, whereby for the natives, you've taken all their land,
Now,
now you even control them, you kill
now he's
them.
saying control all the land west of the Jordan River should be controlled by Israel. That is what
That's
he's
the
saying. He's
problem.
practically saying Palestine, or the whole of Palestine, should be controlled by Israel, meaning he doesn't want any Palestinians there. That is Benjamin Netanyahu. Those are the genocidal statements they were talking about. To me, that sounds genocide to me. So I don't know. And
Uh,
Americans supporting these people with no restraint, just give them. The way they do it, they give them bombs, then they come and say, we are talking to these people
mm.
to minimize civilian casualties, to minimize civilian killings. Then they give them more bombs. The first time you gave them bombs, they did
Mm.
not minimize. The second time you gave them, they did not minimize. The third time you gave them, they did not minimize. Up to today, we are still asking you the same question, and tomorrow you are still giving them other bombs. What are you talking about that you're talking to them? That's why the journalists ask them, when you talk to these people, do they give you answers? Those are hard questions to ask
Mm.
these people from the White House press. briefing when they were making, they asked these things, these questions. When you talk to these people, do they give you answers? If they give you answers, what do they tell you? They just shot a man point blank when he's holding a white flag. It's not the first time. It's not the second time. They have been doing it. What do these people tell you? You see, we are talking to them. That was a private conversation. I cannot discuss it here. What the fuck? We, when they are doing these things publicly, when the whole world is watching, so why, when you are talking, why do you
Mm.
make it private? If they are shooting people in broad daylight, then the talk should be also open to everybody to understand, are they stopping or have they refused to stop, so that people stop waving the white flags. Come tell people direct, don't wave white flags to the Israelis, they are going to shoot you, so that also that one they understand.
But
It's a war crime.
That's the hypocrisy of the West. Okay? Here they are supporting Israel, then they are saying what humanitarian aid to come in, and so it's really something we are actually, that's something we can't say we are surprised, because that's what they do. That's their game. They understand that very well. Mm. So there's no
Now
way.
you picture a Ukrainian, a person from Ukraine holding a white flag, then a Russian sniper shoots that person. Do you know what could have happened? Anthony Blinken would have cried on stage. John Kobe, I don't know, for him, even he would have cried and kicked the table to the other
Mm.
side. Because the way they used to talk about Russia, we cannot allow this injustice to continue. We cannot allow this injustice to. Damn, Israel is doing it. What's happening? You're talking to them?
They are not restraining them, they're always supporting them unconditionally. And they say that in public. So
Now they are bombing the Houthi day and night. Why? Because the Houthi are sanctioning them. They are telling them, we need you to allow humanitarian aid to get to the people of Gaza. How does America respond to that? It makes a coalition. It makes a coalition to go and bomb these people who are saying, allow humanitarian aid to go to the people of Gaza. What is this? Which world are we living in today? Are we now going to start bombing the protesters? Because the Houthis are protesting. That's a protest saying you're not going to pass in our waters unless you allow humanitarian. For them, that's the way they are protesting.
mm.
So if they are protesting like that, are you going to go and bomb the Americans who are protesting also in front of the White House or in the US? Are you going to bomb the British? Because they're also saying the same thing. And if not, why do you have to bomb the Houthi and you're not bombing the Americans? Because these are all protests, only that they are doing them in different ways.
Mm. They are all supporting the people of Gaza. So, but that's the West for you.
I'm
That's how
telling
they
you,
operate. So, mm.
this is the only time the so-called resistances or the terrorist groups, the way the West likes to call them, the terrorist group, this is the only time they are aligned on the same cause with the whole world. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
The mad rebels, the terrorists, the criminals, the way they call them, this is the only time they are the good guys. They are aligned with the whole world fighting for the same cause. And the so-called good guys, this is the time they have turned into rebels and they have become terrorists. They are doing what the terrorists are supposed to be doing. The terrorists, the ones they call the terrorists, are doing what they are supposed to be doing. They have exchanged jobs.
Mm.
Maybe they should also go into the desert, then the others should come to the White House and what? And
Mm.
the British government. Because now they have exchanged jobs, but these ones have refused to get out of office.
Because they're having the public supporting Gaza and the people of Gaza to be free.
Yes.
The Houthis
And
are
the
doing
other,
the Hezbollah are supporting the same.
and that is now the government of the people, because the government is the people by the people.
For the
You
people.
understand? Now these terrorists and what and rebels are the ones now for the people by the people. These ones are the ones who have turned into terrorists. So they should get out of office. They should exchange jobs. These ones go this side, the other ones go this. These ones go and hold AKs, then these ones come back to the White House and whatever, and govern the governments.
Anyway, that is it for the war in Gaza and the people of Gaza. We're seeing whatever, we are following whatever is happening. We have seen also Australia to pause the UNRWA funding of alleged involvement in October 7th attacks. We are seeing that the workers of the UN relief and there's a UN body in Gaza, it's called UNRWA, whereby they're saying the
Which
workers are
was
also
bombed.
involved.
People were taking shelter in those offices, but it was bombed. It was also bombed by Israel. Now, people were taking shelter there who have been displaced. Palestinians in Gaza were taking were setting shelter at the UNRWA warehouses and offices, thinking that they are safe. Israel bombed there. Now they are saying that they will not give aid because they suspect that they were
Also
Hamas.
involved in the attack on 7th of October.
That's why I've been telling you people, stop donating anyhow, money anyhow that you're donating to who? To World Food Program, you're donating to now this UNRWA. Stop. If you want to donate directly to the people. Directly. Get someone in Gaza, get your money, give it to him. Even when that person is corrupt and he eats that money, at least he's going to help some of the members in his family who are in Gaza. That means you would have helped people. Your money would have done something for the people in Gaza. But when you donate your money to organizations like who was responsible for providing aid, food to the people of Yemen, and when the Yemen imposed sanctions, when they started a quarrel or a fight with the Americans and the British, they made a call to who and told them stop giving food to the people of Yemen. Now, what will have your donations done? These people received a call, these UNRWA people received a call and said, stop your operations in Gaza. That is why they are doing that. Not that they are suspecting. When did they make the investigation to suspect that Hamas? It has been there forever. Are you telling me that they have just realized that the war, how long has the war been? It is over 100 days. Are you telling me that since the war began, they have just realized that UNRWA, some people were dealing with Hamas? Oh, are you telling me that for the time UNRWA has been in Gaza, are you telling me that since then, you mean from that beginning to now, they just realized 2 days back that UNRWA has been having people of Hamas inside? After it was
Of course
bombed by
not.
Israel and killing several civilians, and we did not hear them say they killed Hamas. They killed and injured civilians. That was the report of UNRWA. Now, these donations you are making aimlessly. You've seen a line of trucks with expired goods just parked there in the desert expiring. They are not allowing them through. Please, if you can donate directly to the people in Gaza on ground, if you have a way of doing that, just do that. Don't waste your time with these stupid organizations. Remember also they take 50% from what you donate. Do you know that when you donate, they take 50% for themselves? That's what I don't have any kind words for these people.
That's very sad because you put your money knowing that this donation you're giving is going to reach the people, they're going to get the help, the humanitarian aid you're intending these people to get, and these people now they pocket the 50%, and even the 50% which is supposed to reach the people, it is also blocked. It's not reaching the people. So it is like as good as doing nothing.
Women in Gaza are complaining they do not receive sanitary pads. Are you telling me that there is any organization that can send humanitarian aid for women or girls and not put sanitary pads? It cannot be. It's impossible. It's impossible. So where are they? They are blocking them. Those are the trucks you see parked at the Rafah border up to Egypt. They can't go through because they won't let them through. You heard Netanyahu saying that they want Israel to take up the Rafah crossing. Too much is going out and too much is coming in. Because that Rafah border is controlled by the Egyptians, so that they want to, that would also be another war. Like he's looking for a fight with everybody. Because you don't tell me that Egypt is just going to hand it over to Israel. No.
Of course not. That cannot happen.
I don't think Netanyahu has a lot of time in office, so let him do whatever he's doing and pack his bags and leave.
Okay, I think we should call it a day for now. Thanks for coming and sharing with us today, Mr. Opinion. Everybody watching us wherever you are all over the world, please follow us, like, comment. Yeah, we are going to be making more videos enlightening you more about what is going on in the Middle East, especially Israel and Palestine war in the Gaza, the West Bank, the Hezbollah, the Houthis. More updates are going to be coming up. Join us every time on Sunday at 2 p.m. That is East African time. If you're in the Middle East, that's around 1 p.m. Yeah, wherever you are, just follow us. Put the notifications such that when we are on, you can always get notifications. Okay. Yeah. Leave your comments and like us, and also share such that other people can also see. They can comment, and you can ask any questions if you want to. You can comment what you believe is right and what's going on also in the war. You can comment about it. Let us know what you think. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Have a great Sunday.